Subscribe, hype, like, click the notification bell and turn on all notifications. And donate with a super thanks donation in the comments section below for the unfiltered, unapologetic SeanzViewEnt, your home for WWE news, rumors, and backstage chaos. This is where gossip gets exposed around the clock. Now, here's your host, the brash SeanzViewEnt.
We're talking threats. We're talking controversies. We're talking what could have been casualties. We're talking about damnation. We're talking about deaths. We're talking about burials. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, click the bell, and turn on all notifications as we bring you straight to hell. Hell in a cell. Because, ladies and gentlemen, according to the dirt sheets, the websites, and the newsletters, Hell in a Cell pay-per-view, PLE, is not returning. But the Hell in a Cell match could very well be making its comeback by the end of the year. And the rumor is that we all know Money in the Bank has been moved multiple times, multiple dates, by multiple months, right? Well, according to the dirt sheets, the websites, and the newsletters, at this hour, it would appear as if at the Money in the Bank, ladies and gentlemen, at the Money in the Bank extravaganza, the Hell in a Cell match could take place, and that would be for the first time in Money in the Bank history that a Hell in a Cell match takes place at a PLE. However, we are also receiving word at this hour, because we all know how horrible, we all know how detrimental, we all know how bad the viewership and ratings are for WWE SmackDown on the USA Network, and we all know how bad the viewership is for Raw on Netflix. Well, ladies and gentlemen, right now we got a major update as it concerns that. If Hell in a Cell match doesn't take place at the WWE's Money in the Bank PLE, we are receiving word to help boost up the ratings and the viewership and the interest in the ticket sales of Raw and SmackDown, that for the first time in a long time, we could witness a Hell in a Cell match on SmackDown or Raw. Now, I know there's been Hell in a Cell matches on Raw, especially in the Attitude Era, but have we ever seen a Hell in a Cell match on SmackDown? I don't know. I'd have to check my history books on that one. Where would you like to see the Hell in a Cell match? On a PLE or for free TV on Raw and SmackDown? Your thoughts, your comments, your opinions, your emotions on all of that. Also, ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about taking it to a much darker place here on Sean's View Entertainment. As Jasmine St. Clair says, fan once waved a gun outside her hotel room after Kayla Braxton called out fans that have gone over the line, fans that are repulsive and sinister and sick in the head, fans that are going over the edge. Creepy fans. Again, there's a thing called space. There's a thing called respect, ladies and gentlemen. Also, Roman Reigns, again, there's this feeling going on in the internet. We got a breaking news on Roman Reigns, the tribal chief, ladies and gentlemen. There's a feeling that Roman Reigns doesn't deserve the hate that he got, the criticism, the backlash over his UFC Freedom 250 appearance. Those that know are not joining the internet mob against Roman Reigns and the game Triple H. Caught heat after appearing at the UFC Freedom 250 event outside the White House on the lawn. Now, again, we are hearing rumors and gossip. Well, no, it's pretty much confirmed that the FBI stopped. They canceled. They put a halt to something that could have been very detrimental. There could have been deaths. There could have been casualties. There could have been a whole hell of a lot of things that happened at that event. And we could have talked about Roman Reigns or Triple H or a lot of other guests or celebrities dying or getting killed at UFC. That could have been horrible. Also, who is being buried? Who is getting buried? According to the dirt sheets, the websites, and newsletters at this time. Remember, for more videos like this, become a channel member, like, comment, subscribe, click the bell, and turn on all notifications. Fans accused, again, the accusations are going out there. The accusing is going out there. Accused WWE of burying Jaida Parker after losing to Nattie on NXT. Nattie beat Jaida Parker on NXT, and fans are not exactly clapping for the booking whatsoever. What did you think about WWE NXT? As we all know, tonight is AEW Dynamite. Your thoughts, your comments, your opinions on all of that, your emotions as it concerns what we got, what we witnessed, and what we saw on NXT last night. It all boils down to each and every one of you. Also, top star, a top star in the industry, a top star in the company, is not done with NXT as Natalya's new faction revealed. New number one contender is crowned. Also, breaking news on Roman Reigns and Netflix. What is going on between Roman Reigns and Netflix? Well, we're going to bring you to that right here and right now. Some wrestling fans will do anything for engagement, and now Netflix is being dragged into one of the dumbest stories of the week. Ladies and gentlemen, Netflix mistakes Roman Reigns for Ryback. Just proves Ryback's still the biggest star despite being gone from the company 10 years later. Ringside News has checked out the actual Netflix listing, and the real page still says WWE Payback. Remember WWE Payback, guys? Remember that pay-per-view? Remember that PLE Payback? Did you like Payback? Were you for Payback? Were you against it? Roman Reigns is still featured on the graphic, but Netflix did not label him as Ryback, which was the original belief. I don't know if you guys caught that or not. The viral image was altered to make it look that way. And of course, in a day and age where you got edits and you got AI and you got CGI and you got all these different enhancements, but that did not stop people from falling for it. The fake post even tried to spin it into a joke. That did not stop people from falling for it, like I just said, but people saying Ryback is the bigger star over Roman Reigns. Although I will say that Ryback has competed, Ryback has wrestled at WWE Payback before, so it certainly is not a shock to have this mistaken. The whole thing appears to be nothing more than a cheap engagement play or ploy. Someone edited the word payback into Ryback, posted it like Netflix made a real mistake, and watched fans react before checking anything. That is where we are in 2026. Fake screenshots, AI edits, and low-effort bait. And enough. It's just enough to get people arguing online over something that never happened. Netflix did not confuse Roman Reigns with Ryback and Payback. Your thoughts, your comments, and your opinions. You're going to wonder what is going to be the payback coming out of that, and what does Ryback think about all of that. Also, there's a lot of rumor and gossip with Ryback really saying in the past, oh, I'll never return to WWE. I'll never come back to WWE. Well, who has also said that in the past? Bret Hart, CM Punk, Hulk Hogan, they all Sable, they all said, I'll never return, I'll never come back, you'll never see me in the WWE ever again. They all came back. They all come back one way or another. Again, when someone like CM Punk and Bret Hart and Bruno Sammartino says, I'll never return to WWE, I'll never come back to World Wrestling Entertainment, you'll never see me again, only for them to return, only for them to come back. I mean, really, who would have ever thought you would have saw the NWO return to WWE in 2002? And I want to know from you viewers, subscribers, and fans, and channel members, what do you feel as if was the greatest era in SmackDown history? Was it The Rock's era? The Attitude Era when it first began? Was it the Ruthless Aggression era? Or is it the era of SmackDown that we are getting right here and right now? Also, viewers, fans, and subscribers, we also got to bring up, sadly, we all know that WWE is partnered with AAA. And I would be remiss if we didn't bring this up because it's all about history. It's all about the brilliance. It's all about what we're seeing now, today, tomorrow, the past, the present, the future, and yesterday, okay? Because without history, well, sometimes you have to repeat history. Ladies and gentlemen, AAA Lucha Libre star was found dead in a river in Mexico. The official cause was listed as a drowning. AAA Lucha Libre star Negro Abazumo has found dead, and our thoughts and our prayers go out to him. Also, viewers, fans, and subscribers, the Terrible Turk, early professional wrestler from the 1890s, drowned when the ocean liner sank in 1898. Again, it's all about history. It's all about your thoughts, your comments, your opinions. Again, our thoughts and our prayers go out to these wrestlers that put everything on their line and ultimately paid the ultimate sacrifice. I mean, you want to talk about burials? Well, we're talking about drownings here. And, of course, one of the most famous drownings of all time, sadly, unfortunately, goes out to one half of Cryme Tyme, who he tried to save. He went out there, put his life on the line, and we all know that Shad Gaspard, ladies and gentlemen. We'll never forget that, how horrible, how heinous, how tragic it was, ladies and gentlemen. Former WWE star from Cryme Tyme drowned in 2020 at Venice Beach after being caught in a rip current while swimming with his son. Reports say he told rescuers to save his son first, which in fact they did. So just for his son to be alive and stay alive. You know what? You want to talk about the Ultimate Warrior Award? You want to talk about the Warrior Award during the WWE Hall of Fame? He definitely deserves it for putting it all on the line in the sacrifice to make sure that his son stays alive. Your thoughts, your comments, your opinions, and your emotions on all of that. But that certainly is not all, because this is the proving ground. Also, unhinged Roman Reigns fans target Paul Walter House's family photo after calling him a dork. Paul Walter's Roman Reigns comments have now spilled way over past wrestling trash talk. The screenshot showed comments aimed at House's wife, kids, and his weight. One accused her, even went after and altered his family pictures and after his family pictures, while another profile shown in the screenshot in House's post was private. That is what this whole thing went down, from a wrestling argument to straight up ugly. Houser can take shots at Roman Reigns, fans can slap back, but this is how social media works. But just jumping into someone's family photos to talk about their wife and children is a different level of weird. The whole thing started because Houser called Roman Reigns an actual dork over his UFC Freedom appearance. He then said that he would gladly say it to Roman's face if WWE paid him. That kept the online fight alive, and now the backlash is clearly getting more personal. I guess this is going out to Paul Walter, viewers, fans, and subscribers. What do you think about Roman Reigns fans going after Paul Walter's House's family photos over his comments? Also, viewers, fans, subscribers, breaking update on Mr. McMahon, Vince McMahon. As George Barrios says, Vince McMahon was nothing like fans thought behind the scenes. Vince McMahon was always had a larger-than-life reputation, but George Barrios says that version he worked with behind closed doors was not the loud, explosive boss people might have expected. I met Vince, and I had my own personal perceptions that he was a loud, extroverted guy with a strong opinions. Then Barrios said the real Vince he dealt with was for more than a decade was almost the opposite. In the 12 years I was with him, I saw it the very first day, a very quiet guy, more stoic and introverted. That may surprise a lot of fans because McMahon's public image was always intense. Whether he was struggling on television, barking orders backstage, or steering WWE through massive business moves, Vince was usually seen as the dominant guy and dominating every room. Barrios said that was not the day-to-day experience with him. Very different than me. The hardest part of working with Vince, it's not what people expect. It's the communication. He's just a quiet, introverted guy. Barrios joined WWE in 2008 and became a major business figure during one of the company's biggest growth periods. He later left the company in 2020 before returning to the corporate side as a TKO board member in 2022. Your thoughts, your comments, and your opinions. The big takeaway here is simple. Vince McMahon's TV persona and public reputation may have been loud, aggressive, and impossible to ignore, but Barrios said the man he actually worked with was quieter, more reserved, and harder to read. That might not be the version fans pictured of when they think about Vince McMahon, but according to Barrios, that was the real challenge of working with him. Your thoughts, your comments, and your opinions on all of that. Because here on Sean View, we give it to you. We make sure that we hit you with the hottest, the latest, the greatest, the newest, the most definitive, the most defiant, because we will make sure that we raise the bar by far for each and every one of you. Sean's View Entertainment, your premier source, your premium source. Hell, your only source for around-the-clock updates, because I wouldn't be mistaken, but this is the Brash and the Brazen. Subscribe!